Hi, my name is Rebecca, and I have decided to start a video blog about my experience with fibromyalgia and also starting a course as a wellness coach. At the end of 2020, I was going through the process of being diagnosed with fibromyalgia, and since then, I have been going through the process of learning how to live with it and living a balanced life with it. It's taken a lot to get to this point where I'm feeling a lot better than what I was. And of course, I had symptoms of fibromyalgia for a long time before I was diagnosed. I think a lot of people with fibromyalgia really struggle because they don't have the support or understanding around them. And I really want to start getting people to accept and understand that just because it's not visible doesn't mean the person doesn't feel that way. So I've gone through a lot in my journey. I've had a great support and network program around me. And I want to help build programs that support people with fibromyalgia. After being a vet nurse for 13 and a half-ish years, I also want to build a wellness program specifically around people in the vet industry and their wellness. It's a very demanding job with high expectations, and I think it's important that we all have consideration and understanding around that. Apart from that, I'm a mum. My daughter is 9 years old, Zoe, and she is on the autism spectrum and has anxiety related issues as well, with really high sensory. And that means there's a lot going on in the background and always has been. I used to be a working mum before I was diagnosed with fibromyalgia, and I've got a partner that's been with me for 13 years, Zoe's dad, and I really couldn't have got through fibromyalgia without them and to where I am now. But it's been a long journey, and I think a lot of people with fibromyalgia understand that it's a long journey. It's not something that is cured overnight, and not something that's cured at all completely. You've got it for the rest of your life. You've just got to learn to live a balanced life with your condition. And everyone's journey is different. It is a spectrum. Some people might have worse pain in some areas than others. Some might get more fatigue than others. A lot of people can still work with their fibromyalgia, where a lot of people like myself had to stop work and take time out to get the diagnosis, to learn how to live with my condition, and also to how to reduce my symptoms. So when I was first got fibromyalgia, the worst thing I had was lower back pain, which I went to an osteo about, and he couldn't understand why I was in so much pain at the time. And then I developed more pain down my legs. At that stage, I'd moved to Tasmania from Victoria during COVID, and I was homeschooling my daughter at that stage, as all schools had kind of closed down. After that, I started getting more chronic pain throughout my whole body, where it was crippling. I couldn't stand in one position for more than 1 to 2 minutes without feeling like someone was really hurting me in my lower back and into my legs. I then formed fatigue, brain fog. So I'm going to do a whole episode on brain fog. That was a really scary experience for me. For someone who has always been always in a lot of control of my life, living as a working mum, getting my daughter to all her appointments, always having things scheduled. It was really hard for me to all of a sudden not be able to think clearly, forget things, and just be stopped in my tracks with my brain not working. I got really extreme nausea, to the point that I was medicated for my nausea for quite some time. And my insomnia started. So even though I was really fatigued and tired and had to sleep during the day, couldn't move around much, I also formed insomnia at night time, which was more like a pain insomnia. And so with all these things, I was really lucky to have two people that I met in my new community that suffered from fibromyalgia. At that stage, I still didn't know I had it. I thought it might have been to do with my thyroid because it plays up and down sometimes. And then I went to a doctor at our local clinic, and he has a lot of knowledge about fibromyalgia. So I first off went to him saying that I had been to an osteo, and I felt that there was things going on in my body that may be stress related. So I went and got a mental health plan, and I started seeing a psychologist. I have cared not only for my daughter. My dad has PTSD, and I've worked in high stress environments for a very long time, so I thought they might be a bit of component of what was going on. When psychology wasn't really working 100%, I went back to the doctor and I said to him, look, I think there's something more going on, in which he said, yes, I think you've got fibromyalgia, but we need to do a lot of diagnostic work to make sure that you don't have any other autoimmune conditions. So at one stage they did think I had lupus, which a lot of people that have fibromyalgia have other conditions that are related to it, like lupus, autoimmune related conditions. And also digestive conditions, because it really does have an effect on your digestion. So my story, I had a lot going on. Once I saw the doctor and I started to understand what I had and what condition I had, I then had to wait to see a specialist, which I was diagnosed November. I didn't see the specialist till mid-February, so there was quite a gap through there. But I changed my psychologist, and I got into a psychologist that also suffered from fibromyalgia. So she was really able to help me understanding what was going on with my body. I did start some medication with the specialist once I got in with him, but I am very sensitive to medication, so I can't really take much pain relief. I can't really take much of the other drugs. I'm on very low doses, and I kind of didn't want to go down that road either, only if I needed to. So I've tried a lot of natural ways. I studied to be a naturopath when I was 18 for 3 years, so I kind of went back to those roots to try find how I could help myself. And so along the lines of this story, each week I will try to do a different component of fibromyalgia and also my wellness coaching. I'm hoping to start my wellness coaching in December. I will be only doing it a limited time, a limited per hour per week, because of my fibromyalgia. I don't want to overdo myself. I just kind of want to slowly get into it, but I really do want to help people that have been going through the condition that I've been going through. It is a tricky one, and a lot of people haven't been diagnosed with it that do have it. There is a lot of people that are diagnosed with it but aren't given much information or don't have much support around them. In other countries, there seems to be a lot more support going on for fibromyalgia, but in Australia, it's still a very new condition. Our insurance companies are only just recognising it, and also our other systems, our medical systems, are only just starting to really recognise it. Although people have been diagnosed with it over the last 20 years, it's been a very rare occurrence until recently. So I really want to touch on all the facts of different types of therapies that might help, different ways that I've learnt to cope and help, and just being kind to yourself, and how to be kind to yourself, how to get through those really tough days, because I know that they are really hard. And then also the course, what this wellness course will bring, becoming a coach, and what programs I want to start. I think that there's going to be a lot that I can do. So remember, be positive when you can, be kind to yourself when you need to, and don't forget that we're all in this together.